Come on, man. Let them know how I did. Let me know how I did. All right. Hold on. Let me take a look. Break out that broom. Yep. Woo, looks like in our first predictions of AEW Dynasty, we have ourselves a clean sweep. Nice job, 8-Bit Mike. Thanks, 8-Bit Mike. All right, and welcome to we are coming off of Dynasty, and I am 8-Bit Mike. So, how did we do in our overall predictions? 10 out of 10. So, clean sweep across the board. Overall, the card was really, really good. So, I think there was a lot of really good wrestling that took place on this card today. A match or two that I probably would have moved to either Dynamite or Collision to kind of boost that a little bit, but overall it was really good. Can't complain. So show kicked off. We had Will Ospreay coming out and getting the W just like we thought he would. The match with Knight, though, back and forth was really good, and it really showed that, Knight has the ability to hang with some of the best in AEW. I thought both guys looked really good, did some really cool spots. It was what you would expect from a Will Ospreay match. Just the crowd was on fire. Like his entrance was woo. Like the crowd was nuts. Really, really into what Will was bringing out, and I thought the chemistry between him and Knight looked fantastic throughout the whole night. So I'm good with it. Strong finish, and at the end of the match too, Will showing the respect to Knight. Can't complain here, and excited for Will to move forward in the Owen Hart Cup. So we'll kind of see what comes out of that, but overall, I thought this was such a great start to the night. Then we go ahead and we jump into the Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree match. As we predicted, the Hurt Syndicate came out with the win, though not as dominant as I thought it would be. I thought this was a match that was going to line up for them to just kind of come in and crush the Learning Tree. And instead, I gotta say, man, Big Bill looked really good in this match. They really made him the opposing threat for the Hurt Syndicate. He was the difference maker in the match, really came in. Lots of big boots, man. He was just it's crazy to see Bobby Lashley next to him, because Bobby Lashley is a mammoth of a man, and you see him next to a guy like Big Bill, and you're like, dude, Big Bill's on a different level. But I enjoyed the match overall. Thought, this is one of those matches, though, that I always highlight that could be on a Dynamite or a Collision instead of on this card. But it was a good match. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed the sections, too, like MJF popping Big Bill. I thought that was all really, really good. And it continues that story. The Hurt Syndicate's angry that he was there. They didn't see what he did. But MJF trying to get into their good graces, trying to move forward with them. I don't know why they wouldn't want MJF, man. I would take MJF in my group in a second. If MJF wants to join 1-2-oo, we'll take him. All right after that, we jumped into the Julia Hart versus Mercedes Moné. 4 belts Moné. And again, solid match. I thought Julia looked really good at the start, man. She's just so athletic, and you can definitely see, even the commentators bringing up, the cheerleading background really coming out with some of the stuff she's able to do. I don't know what it is recently with some of the Mercedes matches. There just seems to always be these very awkward spots that take place throughout the match where it just kind of seems like they're both not on the same page or something, and it feels a little awkward recently. But the match overall as a whole was really good. Julia Hart, she is so good. I hope that they start to push her and do some different things with her. She has such a cool character, and really, I thought showed really well in this match with Mercedes. Both looked really good. Both got their spots in. And of course, Mercedes Moné coming away with that win. But I thought the match was just so good from start to finish. You know, I think they could do more with Julia. I think they got to figure that out, and they got to start figuring out what they want to do with that entire faction. But overall, I thought it was a really good match, and I thought Julia looked great in it. So excited for that. And Mercedes won just like I expected her to. It just makes sense for everything that's going on, and with Athena being in the tournament as well, you know, Billy Sparks in there as well. Like it just makes complete sense. Right after this, we went into the trios match, the Death Riders taking on Rated FTR. And no surprise here, the Death Riders did pull out the win. Match overall was good. There were some really interesting spots where at one point everyone was in a submission hold, and then you have the two main guys just start smacking each other, which I thought was pretty funny. Overall, this was a really solid match. A couple of weird spots with like Harwood jumping over and just taking a tag from Cope, and I thought they were going to play more on the tension stuff during the match. And instead, like it seemed to flow pretty well, and they were started to get some dominant spots in there. And but it of course ends with Wheeler getting the taking them out and getting the pin. So ultimately the match ends. Death Riders won, and FTR destroys Cope. I mean, they take him out completely. Hit him with a pile driver, and then they do a spiked pile driver onto the chair, do a concerto. Like, they just annihilated him, and then kind of like mock the whole situation on their way out, which, I mean, I love a good heel spot. So, wasn't sure how they were going to do this portion of it, but I thought this was good. Not sure next time we're going to see Cope after tonight, but overall, FTR completely took him out. So definitely not a good night to be Cope. All right, and then we jumped into the Toni Storm Megan Bayne match. Toni Storm pulling out the win here barely. I was not completely shocked at that. I mean, Megan Bayne, in my opinion, this match shouldn't have happened. I think this is too early. Like, Megan Bayne is someone who I would have built up for a little while longer, but she looked pretty much unstoppable in this match. Like, Toni was just getting thrown around by her, and like there was like long portions of the match where it just felt like Megan could do whatever she wants. And I like that they were having, Penelope Ford jump in here. They're like just choking on Toni and stuff, and then Luther carries her out. But Megan Bayne just looked like a beast, complete force. And Toni hits the the Stormbreaker on her too, and it's just a 1 count. And from slight second there, I was like, man, are they really gonna pull the trigger here? Is it gonna be Megan Bayne gets the title and there's no way for Timeless to get this back because Megan Bayne's just so dominant? And no, not the case. Megan Bayne setting her up, gonna hit the finisher, and Toni Storm hits the roll up, small package, 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm comes away with the win. I think it's the right decision for Toni to keep the belt right now. I wish they would have done someone else. I really wish, like, Megan, not that Megan Bayne really lost much in losing that way, but to me it was more like we could have put her in some other matches with some of the other women in the division, give it some time, build her up for a little while, then give her this title shot. And at that point, maybe Megan Bayne just wins the belt outright and it's a dominant win, and you can create another whole story then off Toni trying to get back to the title, take on Megan Bayne, who's this unstoppable force. But I thought the match was good, and I was actually really impressed with Megan Bayne's pacing and everything in the match. I thought it was so good. She looked completely unstoppable. So mission accomplished in that space. Our next match, we're going into Kyle Fletcher versus Briscoe. Kyle Fletcher pulls out the win here, and I thought it was fairly dominant, to be honest. Like, in watching the match, I'm gonna have to watch this one back. Like, Briscoe had some moments, but there were some, like, I mean, Fletcher was just punishing him for such long periods of time in this match, and I almost like felt bad for him for a while. I was like, man, come on, Mark, get back there. But no, I mean, ultimately, no shock here that Kyle won. I think him moving forward in the tournament again just makes sense. But man, Briscoe took a beating, and he took, that brainbuster on that top buckle is just insane. They also tried to do a brainbuster like spot, like right on like the ring apron, and his foot or something got caught up in the rope. Like a little bit of a weird spot that was a little scary, but man, he just took some punishment. Got the 1, 2, 3. Kyle comes out with the win. Makes complete sense. So, really good match. I think like Kyle looks good every time he's in the ring. He's just a really good performer. I've enjoyed everything he's done. I think he looks good, and he looks better and better each time he's out there. So, I think he's awesome, and excited for him to keep going in the tournament. But yeah, he looked really good. Next, we have the Chris Jericho and Bandito match. And Chris Jericho able to pull out the win. Wait. Hold on. Pull it back. Restart this clip. Actually, Bandito pulls out the win. So just kidding. That's a play off the spot because overall good match. There was some... Bandito looked really good. Unbelievable spot where he holds Chris Jericho in a suplex for, I think, like 7.5 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but like he just holds him up in the air there. Like it was insane. Like it's insane to think of the strength that guy has. But overall, Chris Jericho pulls off a bat shot and hides the bat on the side of the ring. Ends up getting the pin over Bandito. Is telling Bandito to get the mask off. Another referee comes out. The family shows him where the bat is. They restart the match. Bandito pulls off the win here, and ultimately is our new Ring of Honor champ. So, congrats to Bandito, and I think that's the first time. It's probably not the first time, but it's so rare that they do that angle where they restart a match. Especially for something like that. Typically it's, hey, a decision's made and like, I know you got screwed, but that's just how it goes and you got to live with it. And in this case, restarted the match and it's fine. I don't really, I'm not a big fan of that angle personally, because I think like whether you were screwed or not, like the match should have just been over, but it is what it is. It's the only thing I really didn't like about the night because I couldn't get into that part of the story, but Bandito's your winner. Next, the Adam Cole match for Daniel Garcia. Awesome match. I really enjoyed this one from start to finish. Adam Cole, man, looked really good playing off the ankle injury throughout the match. But man, these two they have such good chemistry together. I love watching them go at it. Even the last match that they had that ran out of time, they looked fantastic. And again, that continued tonight. Like it was such a good match. But ultimately, Adam Cole pulling off the win, and that was our pick. So excited once again for us here. Perfect sweep tonight. We get into the triple threat match: Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and Mike Bailey. And this is a weird match for me because I don't really like triple threat matches where they do these like repeated 3 spots where it's like I go for a roll up, you go for a roll up, then he goes for the roll up, then we like stand off or we all hit each other or something. That stuff kind of like the whole start of this match was a bunch of that, and it took away. As the match went on, I thought it got significantly better. You started to just see some crazy different offensive things, and each guy was feeding off them and getting their stuff in there. But man, Ricochet really shined in this one to me. Ricochet's heel Ricochet has been awesome in my opinion. Like he is such a jerk that it's awesome to watch him. There's a moment in this match where he just jumps on commentary to talk about how great he is and how he's taken out Kenny Omega, and and Mike Bailey. And that's why he's the best one. And then he gets super kicked in the face by Mike Bailey while on there. And then Mike Bailey tries to get on there and he broke the mic when he kicked him. But it was such a good spot. And it's so Ricochet. And I thought, especially as the match went on, he really just took over and really showed a lot of what he could do. And like, I love this heel character with him. And I think him moving to AEW was the right call. And I didn't say that initially, but he's really grown into this character in this role, and he plays this role really well. And again, it's a Kenny Omega match. So I think as it picked up, it got really good to me and I really started to enjoy it. I thought this was the best Mike Bailey has looked. I wasn't like overly impressed with him leading up to this match. And then tonight I thought he looked really good. I thought altogether it was a very solid match, but man, I really just couldn't stand the beginning of it. I don't put this in my like top, triple threat matches of all time or anything. I don't even put it in the top of my Kenny Omega matches. But it was good. It was good. It's one of those matches that I think there was a lot of really cool spots. I'm sure there's people out there that loved it and thought it was the greatest match ever. But for me, it was okay. I wish like it was more like the second half of the match was more of the entire match, because I really enjoyed that. I thought there was a lot going on there, but you still got to see some really cool spots from everybody. And I thought Ricochet looked fantastic. So Kenny Omega pulls out the win though, which ultimately was our pick. Leading in to our final match of the night. And it was Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland. And when I tell you how devastated I am that I am correct on this one, Moxley pulling out the win again in what was an okay match in my opinion. I don't know if it's just that it was getting so late in the night, maybe like it was just, I don't know. Lately, these Moxley matches just have not done it for me. I thought with Swerve in there, it'd be a lot better. I probably had higher expectations than I should have. I thought it was a good match overall, but it just didn't steal the show for me. And like, I thought there would be something more to it or something would happen. And you do get that Swerve in the match where, there's some cool spots, trust me, like even with this not being a no rules match or anything like that, like there was still some brutality, and there was, Mox split open Swerve pretty early and was just working the wound, and man, he was like biting him and stuff. It was tough to watch sometimes. But it was really methodical in the way he was trying to pick him apart and just be brutal. And then I thought, Swerve had a couple of chances where I thought he could win the match, and I thought he'd go for the pin or something, but he doesn't. He tries to go for a second kick, and it ends up not working out. Match goes on. They did a interesting spot off the ladder with the Swerve stomp that I thought was pretty cool, where pretty much Mox had set up the big ladder on the outside, was pushing Swerve up it. Looked like he was going to suplex him off it, which when he was setting up that suplex, I was watching, I'm like, man, I don't see the space for that. I don't know how he's going to pull this suplex off. It's got to be like maybe a brain buster or something. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but it did get turned into the Swerve stomp straight through the table. And then things got a little crazy. You get Hangman coming out. Because the ref got knocked down. Ref got taken out. Mox ends up taking a chair, throwing the chair, smashing it into the ref. Ref's out. So all of a sudden Hangman comes down. Hangman's setting up that buckshot lariat. And he's kind of going back and forth whether he's going to hit Mox or he's going to hit Swerve. And the Death Riders come out, start beating him down. They ultimately take him out. And they take him out. Swerve kind of gets back into the match, gets some offense going. It looks like Swerve's about to pull it out. Lights go out. Next thing you know, the Young Bucks are there to take out Swerve. So they take Swerve out. Mox pins him. 1, 2, 3. And that is the end of the night. The night ends with Moxley winning. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in that, just because I thought maybe the Death Riders would lose one of these matches to at least start to change direction a little bit, but that's not the case tonight. So we go 10 out of 10 in our first predictions, which is awesome. Super excited about that. But overall, I think the entire card as a whole is one of the better AEW cards that I've seen. I really enjoyed it, and I just can't wait till we can talk about the card that Moxley loses the title and we finally get to open that briefcase. I'm so excited for that, but I knew it wasn't going to be tonight. Maybe we can start hoping for Will Ospreay or something. I don't know. But I thought overall, really good card from start to finish. Another one for AEW. Really, really appreciated this card. Thought it was really good. So please take a moment, like and subscribe. If you're liking the content that you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe. I'm releasing content pretty regularly, so every single one of these subscriptions means so much to me. All your likes, all the comments. Really appreciate all the likes and the comments. Love talking about wrestling and really appreciate everything that you all do for me as well. So I hope you're enjoying the content, and hit that button. So until next time, I'm 8-Bit Mike.